Hello. Today I wanted to talk about perspective as a manifestation and abundance tool. Perspective as a tool in the creation of your everlasting success and happiness. So perspective is how you see the world. Yes, so it's the colors that color it, it's the tone of it, it is the musical score that accompanies it. So is your world draped in this kaleidoscope of iridescent and revolutionary color? Would the musical score of your life be one that is upbeat and one is that is melodious and one that you might even find in one of your favorite happy movies? Or is it quite the opposite? Yes, so perspective is unique to the individual. It's as unique as the individual. And the lenses that you see your world through, that I see my world through, that we all see our world through, is always our choice. How we see the world and ourselves doesn't always seem like our choice. It seems as if often we've just adopted the perspective of a parental figure or a cultural movement or a friend or a family member or someone that we love and admire. And often it seems that way because that's exactly what we've done. We've just sort of lifted their perspective and we've made it our own without much questioning if it is true that this is my perspective, or is it authentic to me? Is it genuine to me? Is it true to me? Or have I just sort of copied someone else's perspective? It's a question worth asking. Because perspective is always something that we can control. Perspective, how we see ourselves and the life that we're living, is always our choice. And regardless of the circumstance, and there are some pretty dire circumstances that one can experience and walk through and journey through. And there's some pretty dire experiences that happen on the planet. And still I will maintain that no matter the circumstance, one can choose to sort of put on the rose-colored lenses, if you will. Yes? Perspective is an experience that we can control. Perspective is directly determined by what we choose to consciously focus on. So you see, my perspective is formed. My perspective is created by what I am consciously choosing to focus on. So what am I focusing on? Yes, over and over and over again, I can choose either consciously or by default to focus on what's not wanted, what I don't want to happen, what I don't prefer. Or I can choose to very consciously, on purpose, focus on what it is I do want and what it is that feels good. Because how you consciously choose to focus will impact the sort of perspective, will impact your perspective, and your perspective will impact the backdrop that your life takes place on, that it's sort of portrayed on. Think of it as a movie set, if you will. Whatever I'm consciously choosing to focus on, I will get more of. Because we live in a universe that's governed by the law of creation, the law of attraction that says, like attracts like. And I get more of whatever it is that I'm focused on. So is my perspective uniquely my own, or have I picked it up, adopted it, adapted it from someone else that's close to me? This is not to say that people that are close to you can't bear a meaningful impact on your life. Of course they can, but you need to kind of sift and sort and sift and sort and sift and sort and determine, is my perspective aligned with what feels good for me, what I'm interested in, what's true for me, what's authentic for me, or if I just copy and pasted it sort of from someone else to me. Because if we're just adopting perspectives from other people, then we need to be conscious about what that perspective is helping or hindering me to manifest in my life. Yes, so my perspective, which is under my control, is how I see the world. And how I see the world is directly determined by what I am consciously or not consciously choosing to focus on. And whatever I'm focusing on, I am creating more of. So being in control of and being in charge of your perspective is going to directly impact what it is that you are manifesting. Success or non-success, abundance or non-abundance, the wanted or the not wanted. Yes? So your perspective is a manifestation and abundance tool. Are you in charge of it? Are you in control of it? Or are you perceiving yourself and perceiving the world by default? If things are going well around you, then you feel good and good things are happening. If things are not going so well around you, then you don't feel so good and not so good things are happening. Yes? So always, always, always remember that you can be in control of your perspective and therefore in control of, in charge of what you are creating more of. And of course, we want to create more happiness. We want to create more joy. We want to create more freedom. We want to create more expansion. Yes? So what are you consciously choosing to focus on? In the worst of circumstances, there is still something. There's still that silver lining of hope and optimism and joy and the feeling of relief that we can reach for. Consciously choose to put the rose-colored glasses on. There is no one who can do this for you because there's no one at the center of your universe but you. And there's no one more powerful at the center of that universe, your universe, than you. You're unstoppable. You are so possible. You are so capable. You can do this. Think about what is my perspective of me? What is my perspective of the world? And know that it is directly determined by what you are choosing to focus on. So where is your focus going? Because wherever your focus is going is what you're going to create more of. What do I want to create more of? Ask yourself that. What do I want to create more of? Do I really want to create more of what I don't want, or do I want to create more of what I do want? I want to create more of what I do want. So let me go focus on that. Not how it's going to happen, not when it's going to happen, but what I want and why. And that energy will feed you. If trying to think about the thing that you really want for yourself with an uplifted, feeling better energy is too triggering for you, then go distract yourself with something happy. Something that feels a little bit better, something that offers you a little bit of relief. Yes? So how can you change your perspective? You change your perspective little by little by little by little. Because the law of attraction just won't let you shift it 180 degrees all at once. It's too jarring. There's too much momentum behind a faulty perspective, if you will, or one that is of a not so feeling good perspective. Yes? Of not so feeling good energy. Yeah? So you just shift little by little by little by little. Here's what I recommend. Here's some really simple tools. To shift your perspective to one of freedom, joy, expansion, abundance, success, and happiness. Before you go to bed at night, as you're falling asleep, lay there and just begin to list off, think about, feel into what feels good right now. The bed feels so good. It feels so nice to have the covers up to my chin. The pillow feels really good under my head. Feels good to take a deep breath. If you have a partner that you love, that is wonderful, and they're laying next to you, think, it just feels good to be here with my partner. Maybe it's just a cat or a dog, right? One of your child pets that you love so much, and think, I'm so happy they're here with me. The temperature in the room feels so good. And then maybe you can get even a little more specific about your day. Yes? felt so good to have that phone call today. It felt so nice to send that text message to my friend. It felt really nice to get out for that run. I really enjoyed my breakfast today. And as you're thinking about these feeling good things, you will fall asleep inside of a feeling good, uplifted, a better feeling perspective. And however you fall asleep is how you wake up. Another tip for you to shift your perspective. When you wake up in the morning, do the same thing. So you go to bed just sort of gently thinking about what feels good right now. And it can be mundane things mundane things such as, how does the pillow feel below my head? When you wake up in the morning, do the same thing. Do the same thing because you want to sort of tune your perspective for the day to one of being uplifted, to one of feeling good, to feeling encouraged. Yes? So as you wake up in the morning, you start saying, oh, the pillow feels so good below my head. It feels so comfortable to feel this relaxed and comfy under the covers. Yes, I like the sound of the birds outside my window. I can smell coffee brewing, and that smells so invigorating to me. I'm really looking forward today. I have some really wonderful things planned. I'm excited about that project I'm going to do. So you just begin to just gently, yes, go through your awarenesses of what feels good in that moment. So at the same time, know that you're shifting your perspective to one of feeling uplifted. Yes, to one of feeling optimistic about the day, to one of feeling stable and steady and on course and on track. Yes? And then do your best to continue that throughout the day. Just begin with those two tools to shift your perspective. So how I fall asleep, try to fall asleep in a feeling good perspective, and then how I wake up. How I wake up in the morning, try to adjust it so you have a feeling good perspective. Yes? Because your perspective is how you see the world. Is it one that feels hopeful to you and optimistic and joyous? And that perspective is directly determined by whatever you're consciously choosing to focus on. And whatever you consciously choose to focus on is what you're going to create more of. So be in charge of it, because you can be in charge of how much joy, of how much freedom, of how much expansion, abundance, and success you experience and you create for yourself. I do hope that this has served you. Please see perspective as a tool of manifestation and know that you can be 1,000% in control of it. Please put any of your questions or thoughts below.